Weisco bringing you our next guest on the show tonight. This man, third overall in the day, won the first moto in the 250 class. A really, really good day for him. Christian Craig's teammate, RJ Hampshire. What's up, RJ? How are you, man?
Yeah, not much. Thought you forgot about me for a minute. We were a couple minutes late. That usually doesn't happen.
I apologize. We'll shape up, down the road a little bit. Hey, so before we get into Paulo a little bit, how many times preseason did you see Craig riding Supercross and just be like, fuck my life?
Dude, practice days, I'm telling you, Christian Craig can win any moto, any day, at any point. Like, you give him the championship when you've seen him all off season.
I heard that a few times about the Baker's factories and the motos. So.
Outdoors, though, different thing with that's RJ's. That's RJ's land. Yeah.
So we had Alden Baker on here, and I think we brought this up last time RJ was on the phone, but I'll bring it up with you, Christian. Alden called in early in the year and said RJ is the one guy that never complained. Just did the work, showed up on time, no bitching, just all the bicycle rides, all the gym work, never complained. True or false?
Oh, that's true.
That's true. Okay.
He's always showing up.
Okay.
And, like, we were down to – he was the final guy that didn't get hurt this year pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, knock on wood.
Right.
And he was the only guy just hammering out the motos.
Yeah.
Showing up.
So everyone's bitching or hurt or complaining, and then there's Hampshire just doing it. I like it.
I think it's like I have seniority now, so I can talk to Alden, and like he actually will listen to me. Whenever like someone else complains or like says it's too hard or whatever, like he just thinks they're being soft.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's literally the only thing I have on it is like I can talk to him and like he'll listen.
Yeah, like if you say it's a little much, or if you say whatever it is, he trusts your opinion, is what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right. Hey man.
Because Christian's the opposite though. Like he'll go till he dies, and then he won't say anything.
I'm just doing what I'm told, man. Just doing what I'm told.
Yeah, exactly.
How does it differ from Swanee's? Harder? Similar? Easier?
Similar. Yeah. I mean, a lot more strict. Like, you got to show up and you do your motos. And
right.
Not like Swanee didn't do that, but
yeah. This one
expects a lot, and every lap's on the clock. So.
Yeah.
And he knows when you have a bad lap, he lets you know.
Wow. Yeah. RJ, man, we were talking about you earlier in the show. This is a good moto, a good day for you. Obviously, 3 falls in the second moto. Even in the first moto you won, you tipped over. I feel like we got the full RJ Hampshire experience this weekend. Blazing speed, some inconsistency, some heart, some dedication, all of it wrapped into one. But I think for the California round, because as Christian said, like California is not your thing, you got to be happy leaving the race.
Yeah, I am. But it's like the big picture on the day makes it look like I was a maniac going crazy and stuff. And I've been trying. Like, dude, my whole Supercross season, I kind of lost that title. Like,
yeah.
I felt like I was solid, just showing up every weekend. And, dude, that was the same plan this weekend. Like, just show up, give what the weekend kind of takes me, or take what the weekend gives me. And, I mean, dude, the first moto, I tipped over, but it was, like, just tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I was fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then second moto, I mean, I got a bad start. And, like, I tried to check up. Like, okay, don't bonsai it into the second corner and go down. Mm-hmm. Checked up, and then everybody else bonsai'd into me. So it's like, great, this happens now. Now I'm dead last. So I was still like calm. I was like, okay, I'm cool. I'm good with this. Dude, get to the uphill. Guy comes from the left all the way right, cleans my front wheel right out. All right, so now any plan I had of staying calm is out the window. It is out the window now. And on that track, I did not want to have to ride like that by no means. And, I mean, I felt like I was decent till literally 2 to go, and then I lose my front, getting in the 10th, which I truthfully thought I still might have had a shot maybe at, like, 8th before that, just because like, I wasn't tired and was pushing pretty hard. But, whole day kind of wrapped up in 3 crashes, and so it makes it look like I was bonsaiing it all day, which, I mean, I was second moto, but for the most part, I felt pretty dang consistent.
Yeah, I was doing the math in the announcer's tower, and when you fell, I'm like, third overall, gone. And I just figured it was gone, and then I think who would have had it?
Vial.
Yep, Vial was having it. And then I'm looking, and then you got Volan, somebody on the last lap.
Ryder D.
And I was like, oh, shit, he's back into third overall. Like, again, salvaging what you can, right? So
Yeah. Well, no, it was two. It was
High
I
miss
needed rider
and
D
rider
and I
D.
needed high miss.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, and it was bad because the lap before that I crashed. I seen Murph up top kind of doing the math,
Mm-hmm.
and I just passed into, I was right behind those men. So I'm thinking I still need to get these two guys in front of me. Yeah, go down, whatever. Now I'm thinking, yeah, no shot. And then by the time I get back around, they tell me, like, look, you need these two guys. And at that point, I'm like, I already thought my day was kind of shot.
Yeah.
So now you get the full-on. Nate told me, he's like, man, the old RJ came out this last two laps. I was like, dude, you got the old RJ from lap 1 on, because I was doing some lines that haven't been hit all day, and somehow not going down and making passes, because dude, that track was gnarly. So like, you kind of had to be unrealistic to kind of make passes.
Yeah, I had a bunch of guys tell me, like, dude, it was one line. The outsides and some turns were just forget about it. You can't do anything with it. Like, you couldn't pass any, but you were making it work. But yeah,
well,
it wasn't easy.
It was, like, there was lines out there, but they were so much slower. So you had to hit them perfect, and you didn't really know what they were like until you got to them. So, dude, like I said, just full guessing, and hopefully it was going to work out.
Some of the lines, like, are so – you had good outsides for a while, and
Yep.
then they're so blown out. You went out there, it wasn't even worth going out there.
Yeah.
So that's what – and then what he was good, I saw sometimes, like, he would be really good, the corner leading into the finish. Sometimes you would use that inside right there, right, RJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a bunch of passes there.
Yeah, that was a really good line too.
You know what other one was very sketchy, but I kept doing it, was the big jump coming back, like, kind of after the hills. And you had that, like, kind of valley you dropped into.
That dip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that little dip. I would just lift my front wheel up and kind of hope and pray I got a good kick and go bonsai to the outside. Dude, I think I made, like, probably eight or 10 passes right around there.
That's so gnarly because that dip is like a goalie,
Yeah,
right? And
yeah,
I can try to, like, wheelie and manual it and then slam into
Slam
it.
it, yeah, and
it's not. It takes energy for
Yes,
one, and
yes.
it's freaking hard to do.
Christian was saying earlier, RJ, that maybe you regret the paddle decision.
Dude, I'll be honest. I probably am going to run that about 95% of the season.
Okay.
Just because the dang start is so important
Mm-hmm.
in that 250 class. It's important in any class.
Yeah.
But, dude, if one guy runs that paddle for the start, the whole class is going to be on it. That's just kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah.
I luckily I won Bud's Creek last year because I was the only guy on the paddle tire, and that was the only reason I won that race. So if anyone's seen that now, they're like, look, if there's one guy on that paddle, we're all going to be on it.
Yep.
Dude, it's scary as hell, especially
That
on
second
that
moto.
track, riding with a paddle tire.
The second moto does not seem like a paddle would
Dude,
be ideal.
Going up some of those jump faces on a paddle is not cool.
Right. Wow.
Dude, going through the rollers with a paddle was, Kiefer.
Yeah,
Coming to you.
exactly.
Poor Kiefer, RJ.
Man, I was so bummed. Me and Kiefer kind of passed each other on the way to the track in the morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I hope he makes it today. And then I just happened to look at my phone, first practice, and I seen someone tweeted, like, Kiefer down on the rollers. I was like, no, please, because I seen also the tweet about you going to eat dinner with Steve the night before, and I know the history on that one.
Yep.
So I was like, dude,
No.
Can't be.
Thank God we didn't go to dinner.
Thank God.
Yeah, because
you would have been effed.
I would have been screwed.
Yeah.
It's not a good track record on that one.
No
dinner on Fridays.
Yeah, I think I called you out on that.
Yeah, did you?
I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely not going
Yeah,
to.
no, I know it's not good. RJ Hampshire on the Pulp MX show, brought to you by the folks at Wiseco. Use the code to save with Wiseco. Factory Honda HRC guys using Wiseco pistons, 2-stroke, 4-stroke, and more. RJ Hampshire on the show. Yeah, so RJ, again, that first moto though, let's focus on that. Like, dude, good start. Move forward, pull away, steady, no incidents. Like, outside, like you said, a small tip over. That is just, dude, that was a great way to kick off the year. You had to have been so stoked after that win.
Yeah, man, I was, I expect that of myself, but to have it come kind of that easy, like right off the bat,
Mm-hmm.
especially on a track that I
Yeah,
usually do not ride well at. Hey, I was stoked. And then, like, I'm like, because the red plate is like the next thing in my career. Like, I talk about it because I want to get that so bad. And I mean, yeah, I have the points lead after one moto. I'm like, dude, let's run a red plate for that second moto before it goes. No, I mean, it's cool. Like,
Yeah.
I truthfully feel like I'm gonna be in this thing. I know I have a lot of speed. I feel like I've calmed down quite a bit. Don't watch second moto last weekend, but you know, I can figure these things out, and I have a really good bike this summer, which I think is massive. You know, that's kind of what I was missing a little bit last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm stoked on the bike, and I'm happy with it. Like, they keep pushing limits. And I mean, you could tell over the weekend. I mean, my bike is on another level than what we've had it.
You've been vocal about it. I mean, in the past, you've been vocal about, hey, we need some of these parts. We don't have the stuff that we need.
He's gotten yelled at for it.
Yep.
For being vocal.
So, what has changed? I mean, without what you can say, what has changed and has evolved with your motorcycle in the past year and a half?
Just things we've learned, and it takes a lot of time to get those things kind of in motion, and they don't want to send me out there on something that's not reliable. And that was the big thing. Like, I was told in January that this, you know, was coming for outdoors, and it took that long just to, you know, kind of test and make sure it was going to work out. You know, it's an all new frame and everything from, you know, the years past. So it wasn't just, you know, an engine or anything like that. Like, they had to work on the chassis also. And Supercross, you could tell, like, huge difference there. And we kept making progress. So I knew, you know, outdoors was going to be good. But I honestly, I got on it Tuesday before Paula. So, like, I expect to get a lot more time on it and comfort.
That's a late start, yeah.
Is it just more chassis than engine stuff that you were noticing more about the bike that you needed to get comfortable?
No, engine for sure.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, the power difference is what was kind of throwing me off quite a bit. I mean, dude, I was trying to hammer so hard in the morning, like, and I had so much more power that kind of my rear was squatting, and kind of was throwing off the bike quite a bit. So as the day went on, I felt like I was getting better and better. That's why I kind of wish second moto I would have stayed up for one more corner before the chaos started.
So you don't have the problem like more of the 450 guys have with the rigid feeling of the bike. You don't notice it that much on the 250, or have you?
Was
that a bad question to ask you?
Bad question. Next,
got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Copy.
No, I mean, I've been on this bike long enough now, so I don't really know, you know, what other bikes feel like.
Right.
So I've just gotten used to this, and I like the feel. Christian probably has a bit more of a can judge it better because he just came from, you know, a completely different chassis and frame and everything. But yeah, for me, like, I'm used to it now. I kind of know what it's going to do. The new frame definitely threw a curveball, but I've learned enough now where I can set my bike up to just know what it's going to do, and that's all I ask. Like, look, if it's going to kick me, I want to know it's going to kick me, you know, and that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Here's what I don't understand, and Steve, you can help me. It's not the rider's fault. Like, we ask these questions all the time. Why can't the riders or the teams be like, look, go ahead and say what you need to say. If it's not working great, say it's not working great. We hear it in other motorsports all the time.
We hear it in every motorsport but
like,
ours.
Why does it fucking matter? Like, okay, RJ say, hey, man, my chassis is a little bit rigid. We're going to work on it, and we're doing this to it. Like, I don't understand why it matters in the world of sales. It's not going to matter. Like,
No,
I've been around the sport a little bit. It's not going to matter. Joe Blow listening to this going, well, I'm not buying a Husqvarna now. That's bullshit.
I agree. I don't know. And even in street bike racing, they're like, yeah, we don't have the motor to compete on this track.
Yeah.
You know, and so today I'm going to hopefully
they're riding whole different bikes anyway.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I understand it.
Do you remember when Kenny took the Showas off of Suzuki and put KYBs? I mean, Suzuki lost their shit because they sell their bikes with Showa. Well, guess what? You don't sell it with his handlebars, with his exhaust, you don't sell anything on Kenny's bike. What are you freaking out on? Like, I'm with you. So.
It's all preference though. Like, some people like that, you know, harsh kind of feeling, and you know, they're going to set their bike up more that way than, you know, a soft plush feeling. But for me, I mean, I can go fast on this bike. I can win on this bike.
Yeah, we just saw you.
Yeah,
literally.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
you just
yeah,
did.
yeah. Like I'm stoked on the whole kind of package I'm on.
It does seem that KTM freaks out a little more than the other guys. I'll just say that.
Austrian brands.
The Austrian brands have a little more sensitivity to riders complaining, or not even complaining, criticizing their motorcycles. I don't know,
man. I just see it like these riders do want to talk about it,
Right.
you know, and they don't have to like blow the manufacturer out, but like, hey, I need to work on this area. If they just gave fans more perspective on, hey, we're changing this, it attracts. Like, I love it. I'm in the sport. Like, there's a bunch of guys like me that like it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I did that
You did.
all last year, and
You did.
I'm very vocal about it. So like now I'm happy, so I'm not gonna
Screw yourself.
discount the effort they put in. Like I like my bike, and that's why I'm kind of
Yeah.
I'd rather just talk about the positives.
Yeah, I get you.
Christian, like you mentioned, RJ's okay. So second moto with a decent start. Maybe he wins again, but he's probably on the podium anyways, right? And maybe gets the overall, whatever. This is at California in Paula. Imagine when we get back east, sandy tracks, and
Right.
Southwick buds.
right?
Yeah.
This could be something for RJ.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, dude, that Honda has been so dang good at Paula for years now, and I felt like I was competitive with that bike on that track, which gives me kind of a lot of confidence moving forward. And years past, I've gotten better as the series goes on. So that's kind of what I'm shooting for right now. And we're figuring out my starts. Like, we had a massive change last week, and I almost had to change my starting technique coming into the weekend, which I blew that second moto start, and that might have lost the overall just from that start.
Are you a both feet down type of guy? Are you 1 foot up? Or what are you?
Yeah, I'm both feet down.
Both feet down. I just see the MXGP guys are kind of changing the way, they're starting on the greats, and I don't know if any one of you guys, Christian, RJ,
No,
if you
but
picked up on that.
I've seen a lot of guys with these tall things.
Blocks,
Yeah,
yeah.
blocks now. And now with the
Dude,
greats,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You could try it.
So I've seen Max. Christian, have you seen Max start with those at all?
No.
The entire
No.
Dude, I have not seen him start with them once. I rolled down to the gate Saturday. The guy's got tall blocks all the way up to his peg.
And he's already tall.
Yeah, he's already.
That thing
yeah.
probably up in his
Well, you know where
chest.
that comes from. Talon, being an MXGP guy. I'm sure
Yeah.
he has a
Yeah.
ear on that.
But even like, I think Jessiconis uses blocks
Yeah.
I
It's
saw a
more of like
photo of that.
having your foot almost on the foot peg already.
just to
you don't
get
have
the,
it's
right.
less movement.
Yep.
So you just put your foot peg.
But I feel
your
like
feet
it'd be
on.
harder to grip
That's
the
what I
bike.
thought, yeah.
RJ, you qualified 7th. Were you having any reservations out there about that? I mean, you're not really known for great qualifying. You're good, but I don't think of you as a Justin Cooper or whatever. But how was the 7th qualifying time?
I was fine with it.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't
Yep.
stressed. Yeah, I wasn't stressing. I mean, like I said, I was on pretty big change
Yep.
leading into the day, so I knew I would get better as the day went on. I didn't really expect to have the speed I did right off the bat, which, I mean, I felt like I could have dropped quite a bit that first moto. Like, I managed it really well. But yeah, I mean, I'm old enough now where I don't really care where I'm gonna qualify. I mean, heck, when the gate drops, we're
What?
kind of different guy.
I think I saw you won 4 motos in your career or 6 motos or something. I don't remember exactly, but was this one of the easier ones? Like, I mean, they're never that easy. Like, wins are hard to get, but goddamn, it looked pretty easy, RJ.
Yeah, that's what Christian said too. As soon as he got back, he's like, "Yeah, is that the easiest moto ever?"
Yeah,
That's
like,
crazy.
dude, just
And he looks so
Yeah.
calm doing
Yep.
it. You know, like
Yep.
I'm like, oh, he's cruising, but he was cruising away.
Yeah.
Like pulling away.
oh yeah,
And all these other guys were revving, like battling for position. He was just gone.
yeah.
So I mean, that when you have those motos, it's like you got to enjoy that one.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, everything's clicking. It's like such a good feeling.
Maybe he's got some engine now. He doesn't have to rev the shit out of it.
I tweeted like, hey man, if this RJ shows up, this is a title threat guy. You know what I mean? And then the next moto,
You jinxed me then.
yeah, I know
You.
the next moto.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, scratch that tweet, everybody.
See.
But honestly, Kiefer, there's not too many guys that I want to see behind me like at 28 minutes
Yeah.
into the moto than RJ Hampshire.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, oh fuck my life.
You
This
know
guy.
he's not going to check
No.
up, even though if the overall changes nothing, it doesn't
No,
matter.
we're gonna see New York. We're gonna see New York last turn. Like
Splish splash.
yeah, like the guy's just gonna. He's a Terminator. He's gonna kill himself to get you.
Oh my god.
So,
What I think we don't talk about enough, and maybe I don't know, I don't think we've talked about it, is just how much he's in shape.
yeah,
Like there's not a lot of that kind of talk. Like you watch how he rides, right? He's a bulldog at times, and I'm talking like he's not on the phone, but like he can go 30+2 without a problem.
Yeah.
And this, like what Christian said, he's going to do the work, and he's always in it. So.
I don't think he feels pain though either.
Really?
Because he's like, oh, dude, I'm so sore today. Like, I do not feel good. I'm like, oh, it's going to be a good day. Like, I can pull away. And here he is coming along at 20 minutes or something, I'm like, well, I thought you were tired, dude.
Jeez.
What happened? But
I don't know the answer to it, but I will say, I mean, I've kind of been like that my whole career, but I just don't think I was in as good of a shape as what I am in now.
yeah.
So back then, dude, I can't even say it because I did crash this weekend, but a lot of the times whenever I would do that, I would crash just because I didn't have the strength to, kind of hang it out like that. This is year 4 at Alden, so
yeah.
say I'm pretty locked in by now.
Yeah, you're learning something, right?
Yeah.
I would think. RJ Hampshire on the Pulp MX show, brought to you by the folks at Wiseco. And RJ, I was thinking your team there, the 450 guys with Christian and Malcolm are out. They're not filling in. They're just going with you 3 250 guys. And we were talking in one of my shows, I'm like, I don't know why RJ wouldn't move up. Like you almost did last year, right? You were getting ready to. They didn't let you. And then I was like, well, I wonder if RJ will move up. And then you didn't. And I was like, huh. And then I did hear through the grapevine. I'm like, no, he's going for the title. He's going for Motocross to Nations. He's going for the title. You know what I mean? Like it was almost like a rededication for you a little bit this year.
Yeah, and I don't. All right, like I want to race a 450. Don't get me wrong. Like I truthfully feel like I can race a 450 well, but I'm not at that level to go out there and battle for a championship. And I don't think I'm going to be there. Once I need a lot of time on a 450 before I can even think about that. Like I've gone so many years in my career of just building and getting to this point, and these guys knew they could give me a really good bike to go out here and battle with. And I don't think a lot of guys thought I would even be kind of in the conversation besides this team in Austria. So yeah, that was just the whole kind of logic behind it. Is like, look, we're going to get more out of him going out and battling, each weekend for wins and hopefully this championship rather than him going out and, battling outside the podium or wherever he's at on the 450, which I completely understood. And they kind of repaid me with a 2-year contract right off the bat. So it was like, look, I'll do what you guys want me. If you want me to go out there and race a dang 500, I don't care. Like I'm with you guys to the end here. So it's your guys' call and I'll support it.
Right. Yeah. No, and absolutely. Like this is what I saw on the weekend. I'm starting to rethink. Like I went Hunter and Cooper as my title favorites, and then I was like, RJ Shimoda will get in the mix. I'm starting to rethink that. Like that first moto was really opened my eyes to where like, okay, he can do that. You know what I mean? He can ride that smooth, that in control, and take off like that. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, should be a great summer.
I mean, yeah, like I really want to get out of these first 3 rounds and still be kind of, I'd be stoked on the podium with these next 2. And then, like you said, when you go east, I'm a lot more comfortable on those tracks, and I like the softer dirt. So
right.
If we can give myself a chance once, round 5, 6 comes in, I feel a little bit better about it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Hangtown is similar setup-wise than Paula, yes? Choppy, fast?
Yeah, I mean, I like Hangtown. I like Hangtown a lot more than Paula.
Minus
I
last
was
year.
fast there last year till I took a dang wood stake through the
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Holy crap.
through the ribs.
See the scar on that.
Yeah.
Holy sheesh.
Yeah.
That's right. And then we were like saying how you raced the next weekend, or right? Did you race
2
the
weeks.
2 weeks later? You
Yeah.
raced, and we're like, God, he's like a vampire. Just took a steak.
Yeah, that was. I mean, but in my career, I've learned like if the more races you miss, or like if you miss a race, you miss
You do
way more.
Yeah.
Like than just going out there and suffering through it. So how I look at it is like, look, if you don't suffer through, high point, which was like 7 days after I got out of the hospital, I probably would have never, won buds or had the podiums that I did. And, you look back on my kind of career, like every time that I've had a win, I've definitely suffered, a few weeks earlier just to kind of stay in it.
Yeah, you missed that time off the treadmill, man, and people keep going, right? I mean, you guys all know that. Kiefer, you're Paula. I mean, they're on the.
Yeah, I bitched out. I went right home. I bitched out, went right on the couch, watched you guys race. I was like, sweet.
You're really missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, was your dad a tough SOB too? Did you grow up like that?
Dude, he's gnarly. I mean,
He's
anyone
a Florida,
that knows Ricky.
Yeah. Timmy raced against him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? When were you near the end of your dad's deal and Timmy was coming up or something, I think, right?
Ah, man, I don't remember all of that. But
yeah.
I know that, I know he's a roofer. He owns the roofing business.
There you go.
So
That's all you had to say.
any roofer, yeah.
It's a good point.
That's all you had to say, man.
Yeah. He's a Florida. He's a roofer.
He's a
roofer in Florida.
Dude.
End of story.
Holy crap.
Yeah. His skin's like leather these days.
No, that's awesome. Hey, man, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it. Congrats on the podium and the first moto win. And,
yeah, great job, man.
Yeah, it's really impressive, and we may have to start thinking of you as a really title threat, like really, 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 because you just got to get.
You guys talk shit on him all the time.
We don't talk shit on him. We're just like he RJs himself.
That's what you say. RJ's going to RJ. That's what you do.
Right.
Right.
We do say that.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
he crashed 3 times in Moto 2.
Even
Chris.
JT kind of said that on the podium. He's like, "Well, you didn't kind of crash this time, and you won." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
But Supercross was good outside of Anaheim, right? Yep.
What's that?
Well, outside of Anaheim, when you flew through the air, and then Phil's 100% convinced that you were still too concussed, and that's why you jumped into him in Main 3 at Anaheim. He's still angry about that.
Dude, I don't even probably because I don't remember that one bit.
Phil's like, he didn't even know where he was. He thought it was a left turn, probably. Yeah. So outside of A2, it has been a very consistent RJ. We saw that all year long.
Yes.
And you were also, like, at times when Jet passed you, you're like, hey, I could probably try to get the good and weed myself up, but I'll take the podium. And outside of the second moto today, in Paula, you're considering you're changing your stripes, RJ.
Yeah. I mean, expect that. Like I'm confident enough to say, like, look, I'm a different guy this year, and I believe I can battle for this championship. So take it these next 2 weekends. Just be there. That's my goal. Is like have a shot on the weekends. And heck, hopefully I can make this thing a bit more interesting.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for the time. Appreciate it, RJ. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate it, guys.
Later. That's RJ Hampshire, everybody.